no matter how high up that mountain I look, I see little white dots, guys. So now you know what I mean. And by going to, by the way, I just called, I've made a phone call, they're still here, the sheepdog guy's still here. Brilliant. And he's going to explain to you all about that thing of them being up the mountains and the sheepdogs being used to bring them down and all that. It's a great, by the way, I strongly recommend this. This is the highlight of the week. Meeting with Brendan and learning all about sheep is a highlight. I don't mean the fact that you've learned something, but it's a highlight is that it's very entertaining. The thing is very entertaining. Watching the dogs is quite incredible, but he's a cool dude as well. The way he tells the story is very interesting. He's also quite handsome, girls. I don't know.
Now then, before I do anything, good morning, you're all very welcome. I have two parts to your visit, folks. I'd like to explain these different varieties of sheep to you. Normally I would do it out there on the outside, but the risk that we might get a shower, and I'd like to keep you as dry as I can. And remember, if we do get a shower, folks, use the building. It's a long day around the Ring of Kerry to have wet knees, so if a shower comes along, use the building. I'll start by explaining the different sheep to you. When we're finished with that, we'll have a look at the dogs work with a different group of sheep. Yes. Now I'll individualise these. I'll say something about each one. If you want me to say more, it's your visit, you're welcome, you ask. We'll begin with a variety called Friesland. Coming from Friesland, it's a region between Holland and Germany, and they're mainly for milk to the making of cheese. The grey right here is Herdwick. Herdwick are originally Swedish. If I have anybody with me from Britain, you'll recognise the Herdwick from the Lake District, introduced there many, many years ago by Beatrix Potter, the famous children's book writer. The wool is relatively strong and coarse, and it's ideal to make carpet. Here is Border Leicester. The wool go to sweater making with their lamb production. They can also pick up on Channel 2 on TV3 with the proper. Here's a variety called Kerry Hill, but nothing to do with old Kerry here in Ireland. They actually come from the slopes of Wales, and they're primarily used for their lamb. Suffolk is the most popular race of sheep in the world. Wherever you go, if sheep are being kept, they'll know all about Suffolk. I'll try and let them off down there as I speak about them, so it'll make it easier on you. Here is a variety called Hampshire. Hampshire are early maturing, and they're ideal for our spring lamb, or as some call it, Easter lamb. Black Welsh is a natural black variety. The wool go to sweaters, pullovers, or clothing of natural colour. And of course you already know the milk is for Guinness. Texel from Holland. Get quite large and make nice lamb. They also mix well with other varieties for lamb. Those of you that mightn't be aware of sheep, let me tell you the genetics of sheep are the same. So not alone is it possible to crossbreed sheep, it's highly practiced. One variety with another to improve the end product in one direction or another. The grey-nosed one here is Swaledale, popular on the mountains of Scotland. Now, Wiltshire are unusual among sheep. And what makes them unusual is they do not grow wool. They put on a winter coat, they're shedded for the summer, there's no shearing required, they're entirely for lamb. The Jacob race of sheep originated in the Middle East. The two-colour wool is used for handmade sweaters, and a natural characteristic of the Jacobs is they grow these double set of horns. I leave it stand there as it will because it's the best opportunity you'll get to have a photograph of it if you wish. And my advice to those of you out by the door, if you want to have a photograph of that, make your way across in preference and I try to move it about. The two over here with the horns is Dorset, popular Australia, New Zealand for lamb. Closest to me is Rouge de l'Ouest from France. What makes these popular is they grow faster than any other variety. Their lamb is lean, it's not fat. Shetland or Shetland wool. Now I'm teaching my Shetland a small little bit of karate. And if you watch closely, I'll show you the first lesson you learn when you take on karate. Now here in Ireland we have many varieties of sheep for many purposes. We have a native that's called a Galway. And way back in history, before the Yarran sweater was ever in the shops, the families on the Yarran Islands were using the wool of the Galway sheep to make what was known as the fisherman's sweater. And each family had their own pattern. Now back then, if you wanted a fisherman's sweater, which later became an Yarran sweater, you went to the family that produced the pattern of your liking. They would measure you up, you would pay them, and in 3 months' time you got your sweater in the post. Because it's become such a commercial item, you can go in a shop and you can buy it today. And you'll still find those family patterns which are different. And of course, as you can see, it's typical Irish. Easily led.